Hey guys, what's up? What's up? I'm so pumped right now for this video, okay? So in this video today we are going to be talking about classes and objects. I'm so happy about this video because when we're talking about classes and objects in Java, that's cool. That's what makes Java Java. Just like let's say meat on a potato. Classes and objects are cool because we use it a lot in Java. Come on. Now, what is the meaning of a class, or what is a class? Okay, a class is what represents data for us. Okay, a class helps us to store data, different attributes, different object. Okay, so let's check the meaning of a class. Let's see the meaning of a class. Class. Check the meaning of a class. So,
What is a class? In the real world, you'll often find many individual objects all of the same kind. There may be thousands of other bicycles in existence, all of the same make and model. Each bicycle was built from the same set of blueprints and therefore contains the same components. In object-oriented terms, we say that your bicycle is an instance of the class of objects known as bicycles. A class is the blueprint from which individual objects are created.
this is so clear. This is so clear. A class is a blueprint from which individual objects are created. Okay, so just know a class is where they create stuffs. What are stuffs? Objects. Uh, let's say you have a factory where you make stuff. So class is the factory. Then what you make there are called the objects. Okay. So this is so clear, it's so clear. And this is not my word too. This is not my word. Please do not copy this. If you want to copy this, you can, but you're going to use a reference. Okay. Okay, so you're seeing these are not my words. Please, they're not my words. If you want to copy, you can. Just put a reference and cite. Okay. Let's see what object is. So I think if you read from here, you understand what an object is.
Objects are key to understanding object-oriented technology. Look around right now and you'll find many examples of real-world objects: your dog, your desk, your television set, your bicycle. Real-world objects share two characteristics: they all have state and behavior. Dogs have state and behavior. Bicycles also have state and behavior. Identifying the state and behavior for real-world objects is a great way to begin thinking in terms of object-oriented programming. Take a minute right now to observe the real-world objects that are in your immediate area. For each object that you see, ask yourself two questions: what possible states can this object be in, and what possible behavior can this object perform? Make sure to write down your observations. As you do, you'll notice that real-world objects vary in complexity. Your desktop lamp may have only two possible states and two possible behaviors, but your desktop radio might have additional states: on, off, current volume, current station, and behavior. You may also notice that some objects, in turn, will also contain other objects. These real-world observations all translate into the world of object-oriented programming.
It's clear, yeah. It's clear. So I hope you guys understand what object is. If you don't understand, it's fine. Let's get to the coding. I think with some few code examples, you are going to understand object and class more better and see what is a class and what is an object. Okay, so let's go to the class. Okay, so right now, for you to create a class, this is just a formal class, a normal class. As you can see, the class is not public or static or anything. It's just not a normal class. For you to create a class in Java, first of all, to create a class in Java, you're going to this is a keyword. You're going to call this keyword. That means you're going to type this keyword class, followed by the name of the class with a capital letter. Okay, and the name of the class must be the same name with the Java file. Okay, so right now, if your class you want your class to be let's say Joe. Okay, so your Java file must be Joe. Your Java file must be Joe. So right now, you create a class, you type class, this is a keyword, then the name of the class, then these query brackets. This is where your code is going to go, inside of the query bracket. So this is the syntax for a class. It's very simple. This is syntax for a class. Okay, so this is where your codes, your objects, your variables, your data type, whatsoever, this is where it's going to be. So in a class, you often see variables, methods, and constructors. Okay, so those are the things you often see in a class, or you even mostly see in a class. So right now we have variables in a class, and these variables are called instant variables. Okay, these variables are instant variables. Here you see this is a keyword, this is a keyword, this is a keyword, and this is a variable name, a variable name, a variable name. Okay, you guys should know this. Okay, so we know what a variable is. So a variable that is inside the class, take note, this is not inside a method. You see, it's inside the class, so it's inside this parenthesis. It's called parenthesis. It's called an instant variable. Okay, an instant variable, so you can have as many as you want. Okay, in the class. So the other thing we can have in a class is our methods. Okay, so this is a method. Sorry, you see, this is a method, yeah, and this is a method. Now this method could be some method that doesn't return anything, like void. They can have different data types. Okay, the method can have different data types. So this could be a boolean, a string. Okay, this is a method that doesn't return anything. Okay, so right now this is a keyword, that's the data type of the method. Okay, so if you're creating a method, it should have a data type. Okay, this is just a normal format for a method, then data type for a method, then the name of the method. Okay, you see this one, I name it method 1, and this one I named it method 2. So this is the name of the method. Then here is where the parameters goes for the method. Okay, these are not parameters right now, these are comments. Okay, just telling you that here is where the parameter is going to go. If I'm going to create a parameter, you guys should know this now. I should just put int like this, and I should give it any variable name, maybe y. Then you see, this is how you create a parameter. These are just comments, you should know this. So this is a syntax. As you see, this is a data type that doesn't return anything. When you see void in any method, know that data type is not going to return anything. But if you don't see void, no, it's always going to be you all know that it's going to always end up with a return like this. Okay, so these are methods. We have two here, so you can have many methods as you want, so many. Okay, so you see, this is the parenthesis, query bracket, and this is where your code goes. Okay, so you can have as many methods as you want. Okay, just refresh to mention something that we should use in the class, like when you're creating your class, and they should have meaningful names. Okay, maybe you want to do a data types, like for students, So you should just make sure your Java file is student, then your class here is student, and you see the word, the first letter of the word should be capital letter. Okay, so what most programmers are expected to see when they are looking to your code. Don't like when someone is coming to your code seeing a instance variable, maybe seeing weather, maybe seeing cookies. No. When they see students, they are expected to see something like maybe class name, registration number, age, okay, stuff like that, something that are meaningful, okay, to correspond with the class name. It's not must. It should be like I could put mumu here, I could put food here, but it's not meaningful, okay. I can name my method anything, but you should just name it something that are meaningful, that someone who is looking to your code should understand. Okay, so we write code not only for ourselves but for other programmers out there and other upcoming programmers. Okay, so you don't want to stress someone when someone is going through your code. Please don't stress someone. Give meaningful names. Okay, so I'm using IntelliJ. Okay, so you just click here, come to here. First of all, you make sure you're in here. So right now I'm here, then I click here, going to projects, then Java. Okay, let's give a Java class. Let's call it gods. Okay, gods. Okay, enter. Okay, so right now don't worry about this public right now, just leave it like that first. But by the word public, you should know that it should be used publicly. Okay. Then let's give it a. So what are let's say the attributes of a god. So let's say name. A god should have a name. Let's name it Star Jack. Okay. So what are these called again? Instant variables. Okay, instant variables, because they are defined inside a class. So what's the level? Sorry, this should be the name. It should be name. Then the level of the god. Let's put level. What am I doing? Sorry, string. That's be level. So you're seeing now I'm giving meaningful names, right? You're not seeing me put idiot there. Maybe Mumu just writing words that are not meaningful, that doesn't concern a god. So you're seeing me I'm writing meaningful name, or you're not seeing me just putting Y and X. Okay, so okay, level. The level should be a number, so this should be an integer. It's going to be an odd number, integer. Okay, then what again? What should a god have? Let's say power. What kind of power did he has? Let's say he has the power of controlling waters. So let's just give it power. So power. Okay, here we go, power. Okay, a method that doesn't return anything is called what? Void. Okay, so let's give the name a name. Okay, let's call it attack. Okay, attack. Then remember, it's not a must to use parameters. Okay, then we use slots. Okay, then let's just see This should be a string. We say God, capital letter, God, so we give a space here. I'm coming a space here. Then coming, then the name of the God. Then what should come next? Let's just say attack. So it's just going to be like God Amos attack, or God Starjack attack. Okay, so let's see how we can use this in a in the main method. Okay, let's see how we're going to use this in the main method. Let me just comment this out. So let's see how we're going to use this in the main method. Let me just say something real quick. Where is that? So as you can see right now, a class has a blueprint for where we have the objects. Okay, so now you're seeing all these are objects. Okay, you can't access this without going through the class. Okay, so this is how you see how class and objects are related, how they're related, because an object needs a class. So a class is the root of an object. You can't access an object without accessing a class. So how do we declare and initialize objects? Okay, first of all, you want to call the class name. Okay, so this is just like a variable name. Give it a variable name. Okay, then now you want to call the class. Okay, so you want to call the object. So first of all, the class name. Okay, give it a variable name because you're going to be using this to access whatever. Then you want to call the object. So how do you call the object? You use this keyword. Okay, then the name of the class. Okay, so you use the keyword. So like this right now, we are creating an object. Okay, so don't worry about the parentheses, that is the open and close brackets. Okay, so in our case, what would that be? So first of all, like I said, the name of the class will go first. So this class right now is Gods. So what I'm going to do right now, just come here and name it let's see, Gods. Okay, then secondly, var equals to, then create the object. So use the new keyword, new, then we say Gods, then with the parentheses, voila, this is it. We just create an object. Okay, if you want to access something in our class, okay, so I should just change this to, okay, I don't know when I should leave it var, or maybe remember this, you can change this can be this. Okay, let me just use var. So if I want to access something like the levels, yeah, I will just do like this. Var, then I'm going to use a period operator. It's called a dot operator. Okay, a dot. So you are seeing now, I'm seeing all the instant variable in the class. So IntelliJ is helping me to tell me that we have name, as an instant variable, level and power. Okay, so let me just give the god a name. So let's say StarJack. StarJack. Then a what, okay, coming a level, let's say is in level 50. Then what is his power? The power of the god, let's call it, his power is let me see, I shouldn't, let's say flying, let's say flying is his power. Flying, I should put this in a string. So the god name is StarJack, the level is 50 and his power is flying. Okay, so this should have an assign operator. Yeah, okay. So right now let me just use this here. Okay, so when you assign all these values to this, so right now you see we're assigning these values to this. Okay, and this value we assign to this is not only there that we can use them. That means it's not only here we can use them. Whatever we assign here, we can still use here. Okay, so I could just put like this slot. Now say still say god. Say god. Say god. I'll put a name. Sorry. Name. Okay, yes, name. Why is it showing an error? I think I'm doing something wrong. Okay. Then I'll say god, then the name. Okay, let me just do like this. Is at level, sorry, level, let's do this var dot, we use level so it's just going to be like a god, then the name, maybe let's say god StarJack is at level so and his power is that. Okay, so if I'm going to print this here, let's see the results. Okay, so here is the result here, as you can see. Okay, so let me just comment this and show you something right quick. So right now after assigning this value, I told you that we can still use them here, that is in the main method, and it's still used here. Okay, so right now if you want to see, if you want to actually see this output, you just have to call the function. Okay, sorry, call the method. So what we're going to do is just call the var keyword. Okay, then we'll put dots, then we'll call the method. Okay, you're seeing it, it's called attack, and you're seeing it's showing m, that's the method, and it's even showing whatever method is it, is void, sorry, void, that doesn't return anything. Okay, so right now if I print this, so you're seeing got starjack attack. Okay, so this is how we access functions in method, sorry, this is how we access method in our objects. So this is how we access methods in our objects. So let me give a quick more examples so that you can see. Okay, let's see how we're going to use this again. So in case you want to use this again but assign different values to it, okay, you want to use it, then assign different values to it. This is very simple. So you just, let's just do this. Okay, so you just copy here, then you change the variable name. Maybe this should be, let's give it var, then 0, var 0, then we start again. I'm going to give a space here so that you don't get confused. Okay, so now these are both separate variables. Okay, so that Java is going to create a space, just going to allocate a space for us and store these variables. Okay, so Java work from left to right, sorry, from right to left. Okay, so right now this is where we're creating the object. Sorry, this is where we're calling the object in this class, and we're getting whatsoever that is inside the class using this variable name. Okay, so I will just do like this, var. Okay, then I'll still do the same thing again, var dot name and equals to, let's give it Blaze, then var, it's a level, so you just give it 100 for instance, then the power, I don't know what should be its power. Let's say water, well, let's say air is better, air. So this God is the power of air. He controls air. So now we're just going to call the function, sorry, what method, we call the method. I always say function because it looks like a function, and actually is a function, but when a function inside the class is seen as a method. So let's call the method. So you are seeing we are having two outputs here. Okay, so this is how you can still use the objects over and over again if you wish to. This is another way. And just one more thing I want to show you, like creating a constructor. Okay, so a constructor should just be like this. So a constructor, if you're creating a constructor, it should be the same name with the class. So it's supposed to be like this, then with your parentheses, then like this. Okay, so Java know this is a constructor. Okay, so let me just set, so this constructor will run, so it's going to run anytime you're trying to use this Java class, or trying to use the object. Anytime you call the object, it's going to run. Okay, you know how we made we have to call, you know how we have to call this attack method, so that we could see this print statement here. Okay, so that we could see this. Okay, remember we had to call it. Let me show you here. So you see what we called it, we called the method before that we show. Okay, so this is useful if you don't want to even call it. Okay, so you just assign a value to it, and you're going to see the output. So let me just say, just going to do this. This is cut. Okay, so let me just assign this to this. Let's see, what kind of name should we give him? So I'm going to set some parameters. Let's say name God. Let's say, sorry, oh, we put name here, name, then okay, that's good. Name, you can still add the value. Let's put the integer, put value. Okay, I'm going to change this so that you don't get confused. Okay, so let me just let me put this to G name and G level. Okay, just so that you don't get confused. Then just put G here. Okay, then I just want you to see the level, so that's why I'm just going to use this here, but it doesn't just, I just want to see the level. So let's put here this. Okay, so this is how you create a constructor. It's not a must you use the parameters, but I'm using the parameters for these examples. Okay, so to use any method, you have to call it in the main function, but when you're using a constructor, you don't have to call it. So let me just delete everything here. Let's delete everything here. I'm coming. Just going to comment this out. Okay, let me just delete it so you guys can see. Okay, so now as you can see right now, this is showing an error here. You see, so it's telling me that I'm supposed to put two arguments here. Okay, that is I'm just saying two actual parameters. Okay, so you're saying the first one, if I just do like this, thanks to IntelliJ, I can know the first one is the name. So let me just put star here. So this comes at the parentheses here. Okay, so whenever you're using a constructor, just know that whatsoever parameters you put there, you're going to use it here. So you're going to put the actual parameters here. So that's why this parenthesis is here. Okay, So in case those of you that start one right from the video, you asked by yourself, why are they using a parenthesis here? So this is the reason. So when you create a constructor and you give the constructor parameters, the way you can use the parameter or access that parameter, so give the parameters a value, is by coming here and setting the value here. Okay, so right now we're setting this to this. Okay, so if I give the next parameter argument, is going to set to be this to this. So I'm just going to give a comma here, then let's give it I think that's is that an integer or a variable? Let me see. Okay, it's an integer. So I would just put a number here. It's still fine. So just put a number here. So right now, if you run this code now, you see it's going to work. So you see, we get this output here. So we should put a space here so that it just be clear. And let me run it again. So this is how to use a constructor. This is how to use a constructor. Okay, so these are the things you often be seeing in a class, which are variables, methods, and constructor. Okay, so this is how you use a constructor. So I hope you guys understand now object and constructor, and how you can give your own code examples showing how they relate. Okay, so in case you like the video, just leave a like button and please subscribe. And just to recap, let's go over everything again. We talked about class, we talked about instance variables, we talked about methods, we talked about constructor, how to create parameters for the constructors. We later used the parameters. We saw the how to create an object, how to give values to our instance variables, okay, and how to still use those values inside our method.